With a history of 4,000 to 5,000 years, the art of Chinese calligraphy is rich and profound in content and has attracted the attention of artists worldwide. It is very much like painting. It uses Chinese characters to communicate the spiritual world of the artist. Through the medium of form, way of handling the brush, presentation and style, calligraphy as a work of art conveys the moral integrity, character, emotions, aesthetic feelings, and culture of the artist to readers, affecting them by the power of appeal and the joy of beauty. Oracle bones were used to communicate with ancestor spirits. It was through the magic power of writing that the ancestor spirits could be raised, and the ancient word for these symbols was wen. Writing would become the word for civilization itself. These are the oldest characters existing in the world. It had different stages, including the picture, symbol, creation, and finalization, the big seal and small seal, that eventually was a main foundation for 5 basic structures of calligraphy. Xuan was the earliest form of calligraphy after the oracle inscriptions. After the unification of the Qin dynasty, it was called to be the small seal script, as the official character style used to normalize documents. It was generally used for military authentication or authority. A special 2-piece object granted to officers was used with this inscription on it. Generally speaking, seal script could be fractionated into large-size seal scripts and small-size seal script. The Xuan style is the oldest style that continues to be widely practiced. Today, this ancient style is mainly used in seals. Although seals are a signature stamp, which are carved in jade, wood, and other materials, the script itself was originally written with brush and ink on paper. Most people today cannot read the Xuan script. It's generally never used outside the field of carving, seals, and calligraphy. However, since seals are used to leave the artist's footprint on a piece of art, or as in signature in Chinese culture, therefore Xuan style remains ubiquitous. Lishu. It's considered to be the official script. This form of Chinese script generated from the Qin dynasty. It became used by all the low-ranking officials in the Chinese government. The characters were simplified, making it easier to learn. The more complicated strokes of the Xuan script were simplified. Instead of using a roundabout turn, a bend was implemented. The Lishu script was used in prisons by clerks. Hence, the term Lishu in Chinese means servitude script. During the Han Dynasty, it was promoted as a writing style for everyone to use. This style has a very unique characteristics. The most noticeable is the dramatically flared tail, known as silkworm head and wild goose tail in China due to its distinctive shape. However, only one tail is usually allowed for one character. This rule is known as no 2 bird tails will fly together. Everything has to be balanced. So if a character has 2 or 3 horizontal strokes, the bottom one, rather than the upper one, will usually be the bird tail, to support the upper part of the character. Though somewhat square and angular, with strong emphasis on the horizontal stroke, Lishu is a great example of calligraphy, making full use of a flexible brush to modulate the thickness of the line. Many hand examples survived, written with a brush on bamboo slips or carved in stone. Characters were approximately uniform in size and evenly spaced within the composition. But the construction of a character and individual stroke varied greatly. At the end of the Han Dynasty, Lishu developed into the more supple and fluent Kaishu. One of the most popular Chinese calligraphy style is known as the Kaishu. This regular script is also known as the standard script. It is one of the major calligraphy styles to be developed. The Kaishu style gained dominance in the southern and northern dynasties, and it began prevailing in the 6 dynasties and flourished during the Tang dynasty. This specific script became important widely in China. It was used by scholars and government officials from the Wei and Jin dynasty. Zhang Yao is considered the inventor of Kaishu. The script consists of 8 kinds of strokes: the dot, the vertical, the horizontal, the hook, the rising, the left falling, and the right falling. Later on, Chinese calligraphers believed that Kaishu was the foundation of practicing calligraphy. When writers began simplifying the Li script, Kaishu became the most prominent style during the Tang dynasty. It is currently the main style throughout the world, whether writing traditional characters or simplified. Government documents, mass media, computers, and educational systems worldwide all use Kaishu. To study Chinese calligraphy, one should begin with Kaishu. The next step is to study carefully various other scripts and observe their good points. In this way, one will create a unique style of its own. Shinshu was a changing form of Lishu and was also known as the walking hand. That style was developed by Li de Shang in the late Han Dynasty. This specific style has a combination of different styles. A calligraphy work in Shinshu will look more smooth and connecting and faster than Kaishu, but less than Kaoshu. This is why Shinshu is known for walking hand and Kaoshu is known for running hand. Shinshu techniques can change the sequence of the strokes and simplify them. Characters are allowed to run into one another, and in writing in the semi-cursive script, the brush rarely leaves the paper. Characters take a different appearance and look less angular and rounder. Even with these different appearances, when carefully written with distinguishable strokes, the Shinshu characters will be very close to the regular style. Shinshu is considered more abstract and artistic, and a scholar writing Shinshu first, one needs to master the strokes and brush techniques in order to accomplish beautiful Shinshu characters. In general, an educated person in China can read characters written in the semi-cursive script with relative ease. The regular script is studied first to give students a feel and a lot of practice for correct placement and balance, as well as to provide a proper foundation for more following styles. One of my favorite and most artistic styles of calligraphy is the Kaoshu. It's well known as the cursive script, Sometimes it's also called by grass script. Cao Shu was developed around the same time Li Shu was. Among all 5 major styles, Cao Shu style is considered the most difficult to accomplish. Someone able to read semi-cursive is not expected from them to be able to read the grass script without any training. With a lot of practice and intense techniques, characters may be written without lifting the brush from the paper at all. Characters always flow into one another and strokes are modified. In some cases, strokes are even eliminated completely to facilitate the smooth cursive writing. A lot of times, characters appear soft and rounder, with a noticeable lack of angular lines. This creates a really artistic and abstract look that is appealing. Cao Shu is not bound by rules for even spacing, and characters need not to be the same approximate size. The calligrapher thus has the fullest freedom of expression movements of line. Cao Shu can be categorized into 3 categories. First, draft cursive. The second, modern cursive. And the third, wild or crazy cursive. Since the Tang Dynasty, calligraphers specializing in Cao style have been decreasing in number. Throughout the generations, and since Chinese culture has been around, this form of expression with writing has taken a big part in Chinese culture. Calligraphy is understood as the art of writing, a good hand with the brush, or the study of the rules and techniques of this art. As such, it is peculiar to China and the few countries influenced by ancient China's culture.